Hey guys, Mr. Taylor here. I've got the lesson today for you, the fifth lesson in our non-fiction writing series, and I'm going to focus today on how to write a mad paragraph. Um, if you haven't seen the other videos first in the series, go back into the YouTube page or your Google Classroom account and just watch those first, because otherwise this one won't make sense. Okay? So, recap again then. Non-fiction writing formula. The whole point of these formulas is to help you with language paper 2, question 5. This is worth 50% of your whole of that whole paper, so it's worth 40 marks. Really, really important questions to be able to do. So we've got a formula for it. A formula is something that you use in order to deal with a particular problem. This is the problem we're dealing with in these videos, and this is how you do it. This little guy down here. So you start off, you plan your answer. This is the only thing really where you're not writing an extended thing. This is something that you think about and then just jot down a few ideas. What do you think, and why do you think that? And then these Nerdhead, Apes, Mad, Jet, the letters tell you what to write in these paragraphs. So do a quick little recap then, little revision task for you again, just like we did in the previous videos. So nerd, I want you to pause the video and write down or just say out loud, what do these letters stand for? N-E-R-D, what do they stand for? Okay, so pause the video now, have a go. All right, hopefully you got it. So N stands for name topic. E stands for extended metaphor. R stands for rhetorical question. And yeah, that's right. D stands for direct address. So well done if you got those right. Do a little bit of revision if you did not, because it is important to know these off by heart. So the next one then, exactly the same. Head. What does HEAD stand for? Pause the video now. All right, so H stands for hyperbole. The E stands for emphasis. I had to think for a minute there, I almost forgot. The A stands for anaphora. Again, almost forgot that one myself. And the D stands for direct address again. Wicked. Next one. This is one we did in the last video. Apes. What does APES stand for? Pause the video. Okay, so A stands for anecdote. The P, which you can't even really see there, stands for personal. The E stands for expert. And the S stands for statistic. Okay, so hopefully you do remember how to do these paragraphs, all of these, nerds, head, apes. If you don't, let's say, for example, you're not sure how to do the head paragraph, just go back and watch that video again and take it nice and slowly, have a go. Different questions. Remember, I put all the questions at the end of each video, so you can have a go drilling these or practicing them over and over again. If you run out of questions and you want more, you can always email me and I'll send you a list of some more over. But the point of these videos is so that you can keep learning them, keep practicing them, and then eventually, when we get back to school, you should be able to do these really. Okay, so you've got nerd, head, apes, and then today we're going to do mad. Here's a picture of an old man who looks kind of mad. Mad as in angry. Make him look a bit angrier. There we go. He looks pretty angry there. He's got a red monobrow. Looks like a V. Anyway, mad stands for mention and destroy. So what you do here is an overall outline of this whole paragraph is you say these people over. Why is it doing that? That's annoying. You say these people over here is a stick man, stick woman, another stick person. Right. So you say these people over here think this thing here. Right. They think that homework is good. The idiots. Right. And here is a list of reasons why they're wrong. That's mention and destroy. So you're mentioning the people that disagree with you, and then you're destroying what they think. You're saying they think the homework's good, but they're idiots. They don't understand this, and this. Okay, so that's what this paragraph is for: mention and destroy. Okay, so how do we do it? The first thing we do in this paragraph is that we need to Anne Robinson from the weakest link. We need to link back to the previous paragraph. So the way we do this is we say something along those lines. You don't have to say exactly what I say in these videos, by the way, in the formula. You don't have to copy it exactly. You can change words about and change the order a little bit. It's just to give you an idea if you're stuck what to write about. So you say something like, we should have real feelings of, and then put some emotion there that works with your argument, at the prospect of not doing what I think we should do. Also, Hopefully it is clear. But if it, in these formula bits here, if it's in capital letters, you don't actually write that thing. You don't write those exact words. You substitute it for your words. So you wouldn't say at the prospect of not doing what I think we should do. You would say we should have real feelings of concern at the prospect of continuing to set homework or whatever you're talking about. And then you put a comma and you say, and not just because of, and then you put the previous reason from the last paragraph. Remember, you can have lots of reasons. I think we shouldn't do homework because of family time. What else did I do? Mental health, I think I did. Mental health. And then this paragraph I'm doing, what am I doing? Oh, yeah, independence, student independence. So at the beginning of this paragraph, I need to say we should have real feelings of concern or anxiety at the prospect of continuing to set stupid homework, and not just because of, what did I last talk about? Mental health. Not just because of mental health, semicolon, just think about student independence. And that's how I start this paragraph. Otherwise, it's just these random paragraphs floating around unattached like this on the screen, right? They're not links. We need to make links between them in order to show that we're thinking clearly, we're making a well-structured argument. We're not just writing random sentences, which won't get us very many marks. We need to link them all together using these sentences here. Okay, so yeah, that's why we do that part. So the first thing, not the first thing, the second thing actually, because that was the first thing. The second thing we do is that we need to mention what these people think. So what do some people think that would make them disagree with your opinion? And then after you've done that, you admit nobly, oh yeah, okay, they do have a point, but then you say, or at least they would do if it weren't for. So some people think this, again, like I said before, don't literally write some people think this, right? Some people may believe that setting homework is good and builds student independence, or some people may claim that nurses are paid enough already, or some people may believe that murderers deserve to be executed. You just say something that you admit not everyone agrees with you, and then you admit that they do have a point, but then you go on to say, or at least they would do if it weren't for, and then that's the next part, the destroy part. Okay, so you say some people disagree with you and say what they think and admit that they do have a point. Then you put this little sentence here, which you can copy word for word if you want, or at least they would do if it weren't for. Then you go into the destroy. Why are they wrong? What is it that they've got wrong? There's two ways of destroying their argument, really. You can either say they're literally wrong, they don't know what they're talking about, they haven't looked into this enough, and you know more than them, or you can say there's something more important to focus on. I'll give you an example, same with the homework one. I think you should do your homework. I don't actually think my homework is stupid, otherwise I wouldn't set it, would I? So I'm just using this as an example, but I think you should do your homework in reality, but I don't think you should do your homework if your house is flooded. I think you should prioritize getting out of your house, right? So you might say, some people might think that doing homework is really, really important, but consider this: what if your house is flooded? That's a silly example, but what I'm saying is you could rank things in order of importance. And what you're saying is, this guy over here thinks this thing here is important, but actually he can't see these reasons up here, and you can. So you're saying to him, look, mate, I know you think that this is important, but what you can't see is these reasons here, and I'm going to tell you about it. All right, so I'll think of another example. Let's say you're doing the nursing topic, and you're saying student nurses have. Let's say you're saying that student nurses should not be paid more; they're paid enough already. And you might start off by saying, I know some people will say that student nurses should be. It's not student nurses, sorry. That nurses should be paid more money. That's his opinion here. They should be paid more money because it's a difficult job, right? And you can say, yeah, admittedly they do have a point, but think about this: we don't have enough money to fund school meals for all children, and some schools don't have enough desks and chairs and so how can we afford to give nurses a pay rise if we can't even afford to equip the schools properly? So it's almost like diverting something. You're saying, stop looking here, look over here at this reason why I'm right. Okay, I did a lot of talking there, a lot of rambling, so I'm sorry if that it was unclear. If I went too fast, you can always rewind the video again, have a little listen. I think you can actually change the speed of the video as well by clicking the little cog in the bottom right corner. You can make me talk a bit slower or a bit faster. So that's the destroy part. The last thing you want to do in this paragraph is and Anne Robinson again. You want to explain your reason and link back to the topic again. Oh, apparently I haven't done an example here. So whatever your topic is, banning homework, nurses being paid more, etc. You just want to finish off by getting back to that topic. It might be that you haven't got off track and you are talking about that thing still, in which case you don't need this here. But most often you will be off track because you're talking about what someone else thinks rather than what you think. So here's an example mad paragraph for you then. Start off with your linking. So I've said, we should have real feelings of anxiety at the prospect of continuing the torturous setting of terrible homework, and not just because of mental health. Just think about developing young people's independence. So I've referred back to, it's really annoying when it does that. I've referred back to my previous reason, and then I've introduced my new reason, which is young people's independence. Okay, now I'm going to say why some people would disagree with me that setting homework is bad for young people's independence. So I've said, now I'm sure that there will be plenty of people who are of the opinion that homework builds independence, and admittedly they do have a point. So I've acknowledged, yes, some people think homework's good for independence, and now I've said, or at least they would have a point, if there wasn't another more effective way to turn young people into independent citizens. Now the A just means and, so that's nothing. We're straight onto the destroy here. Think about it, colon. Young people already practice academic work in spades at school. Just a couple of things here. Practice has got an S because it's a verb. Young people practice academic work, so it's an S. If it was a noun, like I went to football practice, or I went to football practice, something like that. That's a noun, and that would have a C in it. But this is a verb, so it's got an S in it. And in spades just means lots. Okay, so think about it. Young people already practice academic work in spades at school. All day, every day, they go to school and complete written work. What about learning to hold down a job? What about exercising? What about keeping a healthy work-life balance? What about living? What type of written device is this? What about? It's from one of the other formulas. So just pause the video, have a little think. What type of written device is that from the formula? Hopefully you got that right. It's anaphora. So I've just treated myself there. I thought I'd be nice to myself, give myself a bit of anaphora, makes it a little bit better. So I've just said what other people think, and I've said why they're wrong. They're wrong because to be independent, you don't just need to complete loads and loads of work. You need to be able to look after yourself by exercising. You need to be able to look after yourself by having a healthy work-life balance, a living life, holding down a job, all these things that if we give them loads and loads of homework, they're not going to be able to do. The last thing, I've just linked it back to that argument. Homework should not be set too much. Academic work isn't everything, and we all know this. So why do we continue to insist on intruding into our young people's lives with piles of pointless homework, but it says points homework, should say pointless homework. So link, mention and destroy, and then link at the end. Okay, so as before, pick a question, continue it, write a mad paragraph. If you want to do a new question, start from scratch. All of them, nerdhead, apes, mad. And there's just one more paragraph left in this, which will be the next paragraph, the next lesson, which I will do yesterday. Yesterday, what am I talking about? I will do tomorrow. That's the jet paragraph, and then we're all done with this formula. Okay, so well done to those of you who have been doing this. Cornelia, yours in particular is outstanding today that I've just read, so well done. And keep up the good work, guys, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.